Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general tarot reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got a 5 of Wands. I don't know if you've been feeling a little bit angry lately. I wonder if some things have been kind of bugging you more than they usually do. We're just kind of irritable lately. I feel like there's something that you are kind of, that you're trying to hold back your energy. Yeah, or maybe you're trying to hold your tongue. I don't know what that is. I feel like there's this kind of swelling of energy in you, and I almost feel like you're getting a little bit angry at something, but you're trying to hold yourself back. Yeah, this is the card that says we've got to keep our stove down low. We don't want to crank it up to high all the time, right? We've got to let things simmer, but maybe things are simmering. Maybe it's getting harder for you to keep things at that low temp, right? Let's put this into some context. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there we've got the Chariot card. Interesting. I wonder if are you preparing for a trip? Look at that, now we've got the Fool. It does kind of feel like travel. It feels like a little bit of traveling might be going on with you. Look, a lot of fire too. This is all kind of fire. All these are fire energies. And then we've got the Fool and the Chariot. Now, the Fool and the Chariot kind of to me represent like this idea that we need to go somewhere. We need to do something. We have to put the car in drive, right, and start moving. The Chariot wants to know where it's going, wants to have a destination. The Fool doesn't even care. The Fool just wants to put the top down or open the window and just, hang their head out of the car and enjoy the breeze. But the Chariot wants to know the destination, wants to know the route, wants to have an itinerary, right? Now we've got the Hierophant and the Adjustment card and the Prince of Cups and the Death card. Interesting. We've got your Power card, Taurus, and that really is, I think, a very important card here for you today, the Hierophant. Because this is telling me that you're in touch with your higher self, that you're connected, right? That you are in control of this journey, and you are in control of yourself. And maybe that's why we're trying to calm this fire energy down, because we know that it's all about timing. It's that we have to be, maybe we've got to be professional, but we really don't want to be, I think it's a situation that is causing some anxiety. And I don't know yet if this is a business deal. I don't feel like it's anything really to do with the family. I feel like this has something to do with some sort of progress that you're trying to make, either with your career or with your creativity or with your business, or something that you're working on. And I feel like there's almost like you're being kept at the starting gate, right? And no one has kind of given you the green light yet. Yeah, and we're chomping at the bit. We're ready to go, Interesting with all this fire energy here, though, because I do feel like once you're given the green light, this is going to be a journey like never before. Okay? And it could really be something that happens quickly, right? So it's almost like you got to stay on your toes, because as soon as that, we got that Christmas tree, as soon as that green light shines, lights up, you've got to go. So you've got to be paying attention, right? But you're just sitting there like revving your engine, just waiting, kind of getting a little agitated. It feels like there's some irritability here. And I don't really feel like it's because things have happened slowly. I'm almost getting the feeling like this happened actually very quickly. That suddenly you got to notice that things have to change. And it was unexpected. It kind of came as a shock maybe. Because look, we have 5 and an 8, right? And I think it's really because of this 8. And the 8 is swiftness. The 8 is just like a message that comes in out of nowhere. And now there's this anticipation. There's this anxiety. And it might be it might be really, I don't know if you got to notice that you are being transferred, or we have to move out of our house, right, or apartment. Some sort of an abrupt notification that things have to change now. And I don't know exactly what. Maybe just out of nowhere somebody said, hey, I don't want to be together anymore. Or, hey, this business isn't going to work out anymore. Something like that. I feel like it was quick. And I feel like it hit us in a kind of a shocking way. But we're trying to mellow out because we know that, we've got a difficult path ahead of us. We know we're strong enough to do it. We know that we have a destination in mind. And even deep down, we feel like, I'm finally free. Yeah. So I feel like we're kind of in between things now where we've gotten the message, and now we're just waiting for the day that we have to actually hit the road. Yeah. And I don't know if it's literally a journey, or if this is more of a relationship kind of thing, or like a business relationship. We've got that adjustment card in the environment, which is throwing me off a little bit because it makes me feel like this is some kind of maybe it's a marriage, but maybe it's a contract, maybe it's a business deal, a partnership, and there's some abrupt change happening there. I feel like it came out of nowhere, but I feel like it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. Let's select the mystery card now. This is the bonus card, confirmation card. It's one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're just going to set it here. We're going to put Mr. Tao, the Yin Yang Duck, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it interactive. Yeah, let's exercise our intuition. All right, let's take a look around the room. We know we have major, 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 major. So a lot of major arcana cards. And that's one thing that tells me that this is something that is meant to happen. This is happening for a reason. It's part of your overall life path, your overall evolution, both spiritually and in a very earthy, practical kind of way. I feel like this is going to be better for you. It may feel abrupt now. It may feel like you have been in this lane for a while, and now suddenly this energy is coming in that's just saying, no, you can't be here anymore. And the Chariot card, the Chariot energy, doesn't like that. The Fool, however, is thinking, all right, new adventure, new opportunities, freedom, It could be that you were a hired employee, and then they just switched you over to being contractors, where it's like, that's kind of a blow. That's kind of a shock. Doesn't have the stability and the security that we like. But hey, there's a lot of freedom here now. Yeah. So we're kind of trying to look at the silver lining here. Right? Let's look on the bright side of things. Let's see this as not so much not a blow, not a disruption of our life, not this swift, unexpected, shocking change that disrupts our life, but this kind of unexpected surprise, right, that is going to be challenging, but it's going to allow us the freedom to become our very best self, to make better connections, to express ourselves in the way we want to anyway. We don't realize that this situation was probably holding us back. This situation was too restrictive because you've got this idea that you want to live on your own terms anyway. You want to create how you want to create, right? So maybe you're being let go from the company that you've been with or something like that, right? It's a blessing in disguise, right? I think it's happening so quickly. I think it's kind of like an overnight change where suddenly we were in this kind of chariot mode where we were operating within these predefined boundaries. We were in a lane, and we felt like we were traveling. We felt like this was good. We were just kind of going along as routine. And then just overnight, suddenly we're just the wandering fool now. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think deep down, because this card's at the bottom of the path of the dove, this is what you want anyway. You want that freedom. You don't want to be restricted in this chariot kind of energy. So I feel like it is a bit of a blessing in disguise. Now we've got the Princess of Wands back here. In the past, I kind of feel, and this isn't really a very popular Taurus kind of energy, but I feel like you're a bit of a troublemaker when you were young, right? Not a troublemaker, but just a little bit of a wild card, spontaneous, vibrant, full of life, all of those very wonderful qualities. Something happened along the way where you kind of like contained your energy. And I feel like that's what brought us to that Chariot card, that we put the armor on, and because beneath this armor is the Princess of Wands, but is this shining star, right? Vibrant and full of life and creativity, and maybe a little bit wild, but very creative, very spontaneous. I feel like something happened in your life where and it may just be life itself, right? You started to contain that. You started to mellow out, right? Started to even conform a little bit. Is there a lawyer in your family? Why am I being told to ask about the lawyer? Maybe this is a legal thing that you're involved with. Yeah, maybe you just maybe you recently got slapped with a lawsuit, something like that. Something about the lawyer. Yeah, I don't know if a family member or if there's something going on with her. This is not any kind of legal advice. That's the last thing you should ask me for. But I'm reading the energy here, and I'm being told to ask about the lawyer. Okay. But anyway, all this fire energy is still within you, but I feel like it's been covered up a little bit just by life, just because, as we get older, we start to kind of mellow out. We start to kind of get into a groove with our life, get into a routine. We find a lane that we like, and we just kind of want to stay there. I think you're going to be very excited for the opportunity to be a little bit of this Fool energy. It's going to be challenging. Right? You're going to have to really be the best version of yourself. You're going to have to really activate those best qualities in order to overcome these challenges. But I think it's going to be very good for you. I think it's going to allow you to get more in touch with your destiny, get more in touch with yourself. I really like the Prince of Cups today, especially in this position. This is the position of the obstacle. This is really the position of what we don't want, right? And that sounds kind of strange. Well, it is kind of this idea of fire and then water. So what don't we want? Well, I think we don't want who we are, our truth, our spirit, our light, our personality, to be extinguished, right? By anything at all. And it's interesting that this is also a water energy. This is the Cancer energy, right, with the Chariot. So this is water. So I kind of feel like we've been simmering, we've been turning the volume down too low. Maybe because you've always been told to keep it down, right? You're shining too brightly. Would you please veil yourself, right? And so I kind of feel like we did, but I feel like we went to a little bit of an extreme. If everybody has told you in your entire life, hey, you're too loud, keep it down a little bit, keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. You say, okay, I'm going to keep it down. And you ended up not just turning the volume down, but you went silent for years, right? If someone says, hey, you're shining too bright, can you please veil yourself a little bit? Turn the light down a little bit, right? Dim it. a little bit, you said, okay, I'll dim it. And you put on all of this armor that no one can see any light coming through. There's no light shining through the cracks here. Okay, so I feel like we kind of went this really kind of extreme interpretation of what you've been kind of told. And now, I don't know if it was like parents or something that told you that, or if it's just kind of the message that we got from the world around us back in the day, kind of as we were coming up, you know. But I feel like now, I feel we're kind of happy to get this news. Whatever this news is, it is kind of coming as a shock, but it's a good shock, right? It's a good shock. The Seven of Wands in the future position is saying that there's a lot of work ahead of you. Also, do you come from a military family? I feel like there's some sort of discipline in your life or growing up or something. I don't know if it's like a military family or if you moved a lot when you were a kid because there's the military connection. I feel like there's something to do with like a lot of discipline. And a lot of that, I think, is part of this Chariot energy, which is just like almost like a strict upbringing. Yeah. I don't know what that's about. The Seven of Wands is the courage that we need to overcome challenges. Yeah. And so whatever's happening in your life right now, it is a challenge. Let's say you lost your job. We got to find a new place to live, or it's a challenge. I think it's a challenge that in some ways you're excited about. And I think you know that you're capable of overcoming this, that in some ways this isn't really that big of a deal, right? Now, relatively, it might be devastating. I feel like it's coming as a shock. It's a surprise. It's out of the blue, unexpected. But deep down, I think you know that this is just an obstacle, and it's not going to hold you back. If anything, it's giving you a reason to kind of take the armor off and, put your boxing gloves on or whatever. It's giving you a reason to kind of throw off your hermit's cloak, let's say, and shine in your full radiant brightness. Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's go to the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. And it's good for the channel, helps us out here. I really do appreciate that. Hierophant energy. You know in your deepest self that this is spirit, God, goddess, deity, source, guardian angels, ancestors, spirit guides, leading you through this difficulty. You know that this situation has been put in your path to help you find yourself again, to help you become your best self. Yeah. What's the eye issue? Someone in your family has an issue with the eyes. I don't know if it's like a medical situation, or if someone has like a missing eye or a patch or something over the eye. I feel like there's one eye that's just kind of you're not winking at me, but there's something to do with one eye. I don't know if that's you or maybe a family member, maybe. Anyway, Hierophant. The best version of yourself. Activating all of your best skills. This fire energy that you had, this kind of free-spirited troublemaker that you were as a kid, this is still in you, but now it's being refined into this really strong, really creative, really ambitious energy, but it's very calm. It's almost stoic, right? It's almost, I just feel someone is just like veiled, cloaked, dark, and then they just stand up and throw off their robes, and it's just a radiant being, right? Ready for everything. And it's just, that I think takes everybody else by surprise. So I wonder if this is a situation too, where everybody's kind of expecting you to react in a certain way, but you're not going to. You're going to react in, a different way. And I think this different way is really strength and confidence and even like an optimism and a cheerfulness. Yeah. But what is this justice or adjustment card? There is something here about this idea of fairness. And I think our first reaction is, with this situation here, whatever this kind of shocking news is, or this abrupt change of your affairs, we start to feel like, hey, that's really not fair. And maybe it's not, right? Maybe something is drastically changing in your life and you don't deserve it. You didn't do anything to cause it. It really is maybe it's a very unfair situation. Yeah, it is very, very unfair. I think what we're realizing between the Fool and the Adjustment card is that sometimes life is just not fair, right? And this is really something, I almost feel like these two cards should be switched. I feel like this sense of fairness and justice is something that we need to get past. Yeah. And so I don't know. I tell you, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly how to interpret the Justice card right now. I kind of feel like there is something, because this card's in the environment, right? The position of the environment, your relationships with other people. There's something about fairness there. I don't know if it's a legal thing. I don't know, maybe if you're fighting against injustice, right? If something is unfair and you're putting your effort into that, and if you've been treated unfairly and you're kind of fighting back, or you're looking at this situation as an opportunity for you to restore the balance somewhere, right? Something like that is going on, and I almost feel like this is too much of a focus. I feel like the Fool energy is really what you're after, and it's almost like you just want to be done with this situation, that you're almost glad that this abrupt, shocking change is happening so that you could finally just be free of this whole mess. But there's still that part of you that maybe feels compelled to get back into the fight and fight for justice. Yeah. But then there's the Fool part that just says, I don't even care. Right? And so maybe that's kind of a little bit of a choice that you have to make, how we're going to approach this situation. If you're getting let go from a job, are you going to fight? Are you going to sue them? Are you going to do whatever to get your job back? Or are we saying, this is the best thing that's happened? I'm glad I'm done with that place, right? This, I don't know if that's the situation, but it feels like something like that, okay? Now, we talked about the Prince of Cups, but the Death card, too. And I think whatever the situation is here on the path of the Dove, I think the Death card is saying, it's done, it's expired. You know, it's no longer worthwhile. It's no longer serving your needs. You're a fish that has kind of grown too big for that fishbowl. We don't need that anymore. There's this feeling of trying to fight to get it back, but is that really what we're supposed to do right now? The tarot's not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's a question that we have to ask. Is this a situation that has just naturally run its course and it's no longer serving your needs? Or is this something that's worth fighting for? Yeah. Let's take a look at the mystery card. The mystery card might give us a hint or a clue. I would maybe like to see maybe the Hierophant again. I don't know. I don't really want anything. I think maybe some earth energy. Yeah. I think we need something because you do have your power card. You're in your kind of the best version of yourself right now. What are you going to do with that? Maybe we need an ace, a 2, a 3 of pentacles. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Here we go. Oh, 6 of cups. A 6 of cups. Interesting. This is love and affection. This is connection. This is a sense of harmony and tranquility and community. Maybe you're realizing that through this situation, you're really getting a better version of your life. You know, that this might be difficult now, and we might feel some type of way about it now, but really what it's leading to is this sense of pleasure and love and connection and community and tranquility. Finding the harmony and beauty in your environment. I think this is the confirmation that whatever this abrupt change is, it is really for the better. And you are going to have a better life, the good life, right? beyond this situation. And maybe that death card is asking you, are you going to fight for this situation? Is this the situation where you're going to find your Six of Cups? Or is it better to let this thing go, invoke that Fool energy, and find this elsewhere? Yeah, find this elsewhere. Maybe this is community. Maybe this is a new neighborhood. Maybe it's a new job, right? But this is an environment, a life that is reciprocating. Yeah. Finding your people, finding your place, finding that resonance and that harmony. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's up here, or there's one down in the video description. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday. I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know how you're doing. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.